With last year's release of The Nun, a prequel film to The Conjuring, fans of the Conjuring franchise finally got what they wanted: a link. With the presence of Valek and scenes taken from the original Conjuring film that hinted to The Nun and The Conjuring existing within the same timeline, it's finally been confirmed that there is indeed a Conjuringverse. And more than those two films may exist within it. From the Amityville Horror to Insidious to An American Werewolf in London, we're going to be listing off some of the best fan theories fans have about the Conjuring universe. Hey guys, welcome back to Top 5 Scary Videos. I'm your host Lisa McPhee, and today we're going to be talking about the top 5 Conjuringverse fan theories. In at 5, the Amityville Horror. Now this theory is a two-parter, stemming from the defeat of Valek, or perhaps the lack thereof. As we saw in The Conjuring 2, Valek was ultimately sent back to the hell from whence she came after Lorraine Warren uttered her name. Simple as. We thought it was the end of the big baddie of the Conjuring series, but we may actually be wrong on that front. With The Conjuring 3 in the works, many fans have been quick to theorize what they think the plot could entail, from the Crooked Man to the Southend Werewolf, both of which we'll be discussing later on in our list. Fans have had some very interesting theories, particularly regarding the Amityville Horror, a case that was referenced briefly in The Conjuring 2. Though the plot of the film doesn't focus solely on the case investigated by the Warrens, the brief scene we had did imply that Valek was in some way connected to the Amityville haunting. Potentially Valek could pop up again in the future film, encouraging the DeFeo murders. Maybe not, but we shall see. Just please don't bring back Ryan Reynolds. In at number 4, Insidious. Insidious was James Wan's first creation in what is now known as the Conjuring Universe. An intention that he always had was to create a shared universe within the films, along the same vein as Marvel. Now, though the films may not exist in the same timeline, there is definitely the chance that Insidious exists within the same universe as The Conjuring. The biggest factors being, well, Patrick Wilson. Yeah, not a solid reason, but it's good enough for me. Creepy dolls and the lipstick-faced demon who appears to be obsessed with them, scattering them throughout his demonic lair. Could these two films somewhat be connected through the lipstick-faced demon? Perhaps he has an alliance with Annabelle? Who knows? In at 3, the Crooked Man. The disturbing entity that appears in The Conjuring 2 has been confirmed to be getting his own spin-off title in the Conjuring universe. Though animated, the character's perfectly terrifying, moving awkwardly with his umbrella hunting down children. Creepier still, the Crooked Man is actually based on a nursery rhyme from the 1840s that went something like this. There was a crooked man, and he walked a crooked mile. He found a crooked sixpence upon a crooked stile. He bought a crooked cat which caught a crooked mouse, and they all lived together in a little crooked house. Now, if the nursery rhyme is anything to go by, perhaps in the Crooked Man solo film we could be seeing a lot of crooked items, further adding to the terrifying nature of this character. Perhaps it will be a Hansel and Gretel-esque story, with the crooked man luring children into his crooked home where they can play with his crooked cat. I'm terrified already. In at 2, the Southend Werewolf. There have been a lot of rumours and speculation recently about what the third Conjuring film could focus on, and one answer that has emerged out of the cosmos is the Southend Werewolf, another case investigated by the Warrens. Born in Southend, William Ramsey discovered something wasn't quite right with him when he was just 9 years old. He was overcome with overwhelming rage and hatred, resulting in him uprooting a fence and gnawing on the wire meshing. Time passed, he grew older, and William never faced another incident like the one he had at 9 years old, until one night when he was out with some friends at a pub. He was overcome with the same animalistic rage he encountered when he was younger. He ran to the bathroom, and there, looking back at him in the mirror, was a werewolf. However, worse was still to come. After suffering from chest pains, William checked himself into the hospital, but halfway through his examination he sank his teeth into the arm of the nurse and began running through the halls acting possessed. After William's act of insanity appeared on the TV, Ed and Lorraine saw this, and Lorraine immediately considered that he might actually be possessed. After negotiating with William, he flew over to Connecticut to meet with the Warrens in their local church to undergo an exorcism. During the exorcism, William's face contorted, hands formed claws, and the werewolf from within descended upon them all, before eventually being banished. The entire event was recorded on film, so with all that being said, could this potentially be the premise for the upcoming Conjuring 3? James Wan himself has was even stated that this story would take the Warrens into An American Werewolf in London territory, and honestly, it sounds like an excellent idea to me. And finally, in at number 1, Irene and Lorraine. In the latest installment of the Conjuring Universe, The Nun, we meet the character Sister Irene, who must solve the mysterious goings-on at her convent, which we later learn is thanks to the sinister force of Valek, the demon that Lorraine Warren faces up against in The Conjuring 2. Now, in The Nun, Lorraine makes an appearance in a flash-forward sequence, which ties the plot of the two films together. However, what many fans noted was the striking similarities between Irene and Lorraine. Now, Lorraine is played by Vera Farmiga and Irene played by her younger sister Taysa, and many can't help but think that this casting choice was important for the future installments in the franchise. Now, the film does make sure to let us know that they are not the same person, but that doesn't mean that they are not in some way related, considering they both suffer from clairvoyant abilities and hallucinations, and are both faced off against Valek, the ultimate baddie. What do you guys think though? Well, there we have it. What did you guys think? Do you believe any of these theories, or do you have any others that didn't make it onto our list? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below, and perhaps we can do a part 2. Before you go, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another scary vid. And until next time, see you later.